Yeah, you too. So yeah, it's still Saturday afternoon. Just got off the Route 30, which when that last video cut off, I didn't mean to cut it off. I think I just hit the wrong button on my damn phone. Or actually I think I bumped the screen, something like that. I don't know, I was trying to show how 44th Street, the one block of 44th Street to the north of University Drive had its name changed. Motorcycle didn't even stop for the stop sign and making a creative U-turn. Good times. Anyway, wow, you know, I just realized that right there is streetcar track. And I have not rode the Tempe streetcar yet. This is the first time I've been in downtown Tempe since the streetcar was finished. And honestly, coming to downtown Tempe had nothing to do with the streetcar. The streetcar was the last thing on my mind. I just realized at the bus stop that I was at, there at 44th Street and University, after the video cut off because I hit the wrong part of the screen, I was looking at the transit app and realized that particular bus stop doesn't, the 32 doesn't the 32 doesn't stop there. So I was kind of wanting to get the 32 northbound, you know, to go back where I came from, up to 44th Street. But yeah, it doesn't stop at that stop. I would have had to backtrack down University about a quarter mile to 42nd Street, and I looked at the schedule. Wow, that's quite the tower going in there. I looked at the schedule, and there's more streetcar track. It curves to the right. I wonder where the hell you catch it. Oh, I think you catch it. Oh, there it is right there. You catch it right there. I wonder how the hell you get to that platform in the middle of the damn street. Anyway, yeah, I checked, and it was going to be quite a while. It was going to be quite a while until the next Route 32 northbound came through there. But I saw that the 30 was going to show up quick, so it's like, well, let me just get the hell out of this heat and get on the 30. I'll go into Tempe and just transfer to the light rail in Tempe. But now that I'm in downtown Tempe, I'm thinking I want to check out that streetcar. I got a feeling I'm not going to be able to board that one. I think by the time I figure out how the hell to get to that platform in the middle of the street. I mean, granted, I could just jaywalk right now, but I'm trying to figure out how you're supposed to do it first. Yeah, that train will be gone. Bye-bye, train. And I did not see anybody get on it or get off it. That's not a good sign. Yeah, I got a sneaking suspicion not a lot of people ride the Tempe streetcar. But I haven't been here to see it. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I do remember the day that it first went into operation. That's back when I was still kind of messing around with Twitter. I'm pretty much done with Twitter these days. Oh, wow. The old strip mall, the old strip shopping center where Staples Grocery used to be, that had become just an ASU building. That whole structure is completely gone. Dang. That was still here the last time I came through Tempe. Oh my God, we got a dust storm happening. Oh shit. Oh, ow, it's getting dust in my eyes. This isn't cool. I guess I'm supposed to cross here. Yeah, you know, and I had a pop-up alert on my phone telling me that there was a dust storm coming. And it advised me what to do while I was driving. Bold of the National Weather Service to assume I have something to drive. God, this skyline is just so different from when I lived in Tempe. It just trips me out. All the new buildings, most of which are clearly ASU buildings, have been built since my moving out of Tempe 6 years ago. Yeah, we got mill crunched down to to 2 lanes of vehicle traffic that looks very backed up due to the addition of this that's my alarm going off. Time to wake up and go to work. Due to my due to the light, or what do you call it, due to the street carpeting put in, they've reduced the vehicle lanes, and it's clearly causing a pretty severe backup. And I certainly did not see any people getting on or getting off the streetcar. So yeah, SAS misplaced priorities there. So we are here. I'm here, 9th Street Mill. And looks like if I get on it on this side, it looks like it goes north on Mill to Rio Salado, goes down Rio Salado to Marina Heights. It's an interesting place for it to terminate. And then turns and goes in the opposite direction to down Rio Salado to Ash. Goes down Ash to University, and that's about University in Maple. That's where I started walking along the track and started this video. And then it turns right, comes right to the station here, and goes down Mill around the Apache curve in front of Gamage, and down Apache to goes past Rural, goes to Dorsey. So wow. Not a lot of area served by this thing. Sure seems like a lot of construction to not provide service to much of an area. Now granted, this is a pretty densely populated, and there's a lot of stuff in this area. I mean, you got downtown Tempe, you got ASU, and there is a lot of dense residential development here as well. Here comes the streetcar. But there's somebody on a bicycle I think is going to ride the streetcar. Dorsey and Apache is what it says on the front of the train. Yeah, me and one other person getting on this train versus the amount of people that are driving here. And this is an area that before the streetcar had really good bus service. It had these free neighborhood buses called the Orbit buses. Oh, look, a little chair all by itself. How cool is that? So yeah, it had this little these little local circulator buses that went all over central Tempe called the Orbit buses. And from what I've seen looking at stuff from Valley Metro, those are still running. So I don't know. This feels largely redundant. There are some people on it though. Next stop, 11th Street and Mill. The stops seem to be pretty closely placed together. It's kind of neat. These trains can go either direction. There's a control panel for the driver if it's driving in that direction. That's really neat. Digital rear view backup cameras there. Those controls are something. Oh wow. Out here. Got a simulated view of the route. 11th and Mill, College and Apache, Paseo and Apache, Dorsey and Apache. Apparently this doesn't really have a lot of stops. Now this is the next stop here, 11th and Apache. Well, at least it's potentially loading and unloading passengers while it's sitting at the red light, although I didn't see anybody get off or on. Of course, it looks like that dust storm is really kicking out there, so even if I was planning on getting off, I'd probably be rethinking that. Lots of bird scooters on the corner, which reminds me, I haven't. Next stop, College and Apache. Yeah, which reminds me, I never did get around to disputing that $25 or $30 charge from Bird from the ride they were refusing to let me in earlier this week. Kind of surprised that there's not that there's a station there, but there's not a station here in the curve. And I got to go all the way to college to the next station. It seems like they would have wanted to put a station right about here for people going southbound on Mill, people going over to Grady Gamage Auditorium right there. I mean, I guess you can walk over to Gamage from 11th, but I don't know. It seems like there should be a station right around here. That's Forest and 13th. 13th Street is basically what you get if you go on the other side of Mill on Apache. Apache starts the curve we just went through. But 13th Street continues west of here pretty much all the way to 48th Street. Graduate Hotel. Supposed to be a pretty cool lounge up there on the top floor with a pool in it. That's what I've heard. So they've done some bike lane improvements on this road and a whole bunch of scooters on the ground, all birds. It's showing the map again, showing stops at Paseo and Apache, Rural and Apache, and now it says arriving, College and Apache. There's the station at College and Apache. I do kind of question the city of Tempe's decision to put these stations in the middle of the street like this. That way every pedestrian getting on and off this train has to walk across half of Apache Road, Apache Boulevard, whatever the hell it's called, as opposed to doing like they did in Portland and putting it on the side of the road. That way you, like the Portland streetcar, when you get off the Portland streetcar, you just step onto the, step onto the sidewalk of whatever street you're getting on or off at. I kind of wish they'd have done that here in Tempe. And I think I got, in some of my Portland videos, I think I got some video of the streetcar. I definitely rode the streetcar quite a bit when I was in Portland. I'm trying to remember if I do have a video showing the Portland streetcar, I'll try to link it to the description of this video. So if that link isn't there, be sure to come back and check it out, because I'm really going to try to put that link there. There's another scooter on the ground. That one looked like a spin. Next step, the map shows arriving Paseo del Saber in Apache. For those unfamiliar with ASU, Paseo del Saber is actually is not a street. It's a walkway. It's a really notable walkway. It goes to the south here into like that's Vista del Sol, and those are residential. There's a lot of like student residences there, like dorms basically, and then in the middle there's sort of an outdoor plaza and a POD warehouse, whatever the hell that is. But there's also a lot of food places and stuff. There's a food court down there. It's been a long time since I've gone into it. I recall there being a Pizza Hut over there, but I don't know what else is there. But yeah, it crosses here. Paseo del Saber crosses here, and now they've got the new streetcar station. And then towards the north, it's a solid walkway, like all the way through the campus. It's lined with palm trees, and as you go to the north, it's also lined with palm trees. Next up, Rural and Apache. Yeah, I forget where that path goes to the north, but if memory serves, it goes all the way through campus, like all the way up to, and I think past. Oh, there's the Vine Tavern. I heard it just closed this last weekend, and that they're relocating to another place. Now that's been ASU property there where the Vine Tavern is for a long time, and they've been leasing the building from ASU, but I think ASU finally told them that they gotta move out. So that's a bummer. That was a really great bar. I used to have a friend that hosted karaoke there. Had a pretty weak selection as far as music, but still did a hell of a show. So we're at Apache, and here comes the station. It's a little bit set back from Apache. How far the station is set back. It doesn't look like it actually connects to Apache like the other ones do. It looks like it has its own crosswalks. One going to the south to something Indian cuisine. Wow, that used to be a little dive bar. I think it was called the Bear's Den or something like that. Place that was pretty infamous for people getting ASU students getting away with underage drinking, and they probably got shut down eventually because of that. Got some more scooters. Those all look like there's a bird right there behind that realty sign, and then right there those would be I wish this phone would focus better. Those look like Razor scooters. Yeah, it looks like the old Bear's Den or whatever the hell that little dive bar used to be. It looks like that's now an Indian food restaurant. We got apartments, and I don't think that's student housing. I think that's actually private luxury apartments to the south. There's Chase Bank and some more private luxury apartments to the north. Now, these are mostly ASU students that live in these residential towers here, and students, whose parents have deep pockets to pay for these apartments. I understand these apartments all are ridiculously expensive. Those are some new ones to the north here. And as you see, they all have entrances to big parking garages inside. Because the people that have the money to live in these apartments, they're not riding this streetcar very often because they have the money to drive. Their parents are paying for them to have expensive apartments in these high rises, and then their parents are also paying for them to have a car. This is the end of the line that we're coming to here. It's been a long time since I've been to the intersection of actually this is the intersection of Terrace. This is the intersection of Terrace and Apache. Zoo and Pucha. That used to be a place called The Bar. And that green building, that's a private school. That used to be a concert venue. I forget what the hell the name of it was, but I remember seeing 311 there, and shit, I remember seeing Gray Days there and meeting Chester Bennington. Oh, Chester Bennington, rest in peace. So it looks like they've got this train on a completely different track than the regular light rail. This is wild. This is the first time I've been here since this stuff's been done. I dig the hand sculpture. So it looks like they got a little fence between the two different tracks, and this departs on a different platform. Which is, we still got dust storm going on out here. So yeah, this is the end of the line. Which is funny because I see people on there not getting off, so I guess they're just going for a ride. Signs here, use crosswalk, no trespassing. So yeah, this rail just ends, and it's separate from the light rail trains. I don't know why they couldn't manage to share tracks and share platforms. But they didn't. There's that far end of it. It's debatable how much faster that was than just walking over here. But at least the train got me the hell out of the dust storm. So I'm guessing what happens at this point is the driver comes through the train and gets at the other end of it and just drives it in the opposite direction. And apparently it does share tracks a little bit, because here you see a split track where it goes and joins the light rail. There's Dorsey Lane. So this station only has one exit from right here. Right here, so you got to go this way. There's no crossing to go to that street to the south. If you want to walk the light rail, you got to walk down to this area here and then walk up to the other platform. Oh man, that wind is kicking up some dust. It's like taking some effort just to hold my dang phone. I think I want to try to get back on that train if I can. Let's see, kind of see where it goes. Because obviously it does share a track a little bit, just doesn't share that platform. It looks like right there it sends it to the other side, little crossover tracks, it's like the other side of the light rail. That's pretty fascinating. And all this area has been vacated. There used to be affordable apartments all through here and inexpensive hotels. But yeah, all those people have been displaced. All those people definitely been displaced. Oh God, I hope I'm not missing this train. Oh good, I was able to get back on it. Oh. Yeah, it's nice and cool in here. Nice and cool in here, and I'm not stuck in that dust storm. That dust storm is really turning into something. So now the sign says Rural Apache, Paseo del Sabre Apache, College Avenue Apache, Dorsey Apache. I guess it gives somebody riding light rail, they can get off here and then they can transfer and have more places to stop. Because yeah, the Tempe, the light rail, the regular Valley Metro light rail going through Tempe, it doesn't have a lot of stops really. I mean, I guess it does. It depends on, a lot is a relative term. But after the stop here at Apache, Dorsey and Apache, I don't think the next stop is until you get to the track curves and it goes down Terrace, but it doesn't actually have a stop on Terrace. It doesn't stop until it gets, I guess it stops at Terrace and Rural. But yeah, there's no stop at Lemon and Terrace. It always seemed to me that there should be a stop on the light rail at Lemon and Terrace. But there's a lot of residential there, and there's some stores and stuff there. It's a really heavy pedestrian area that lacks a light rail stop. Although I'm pretty sure the Orbit bus goes through there. All right, well there goes the train. I guess that we've seen justification for why this train sits on another track. So the regular light rail can go past it. I'm kind of surprised how long this train's just been sitting there at the end of the line. And even more surprised that there's like 3 people at the other end of the train that are riding it. They just rode it to the end and stayed on it and they're riding back. I get the feeling they're similar to me. They're just going for a joyride to see where it goes, as opposed to actually using it for transportation. Gotta wonder, with all the money spent on this streetcar that goes hardly anywhere, how many economically disadvantaged citizens of Tempe that can't afford reliable cars could have been bought reliable cars. I heard once on KTR, in fact I've heard this statistic more than once on KTR, there's where the train. And you know, and I saw that crossover track, but it actually didn't use it. And there goes the Orbit bus that I mentioned. I couldn't read what route it was, but there goes the Orbit bus down, oh shit, I forget the name of that street. Terrace. There's the Orbit bus down Terrace. Another street sign, Terrace. And more new residential buildings. Those have been built since I came down here. And as you see, there's nothing in the bottom floor available. Like there's the potential for some Apollo, it's called. There's some potential for some retail down there. Oh, there's something. Some business right there. I didn't see what it was called. But yeah, those people are driving. You can see them driving out of there. I dig that the old Super 8 motel is still sitting in the same spot underneath all these towers that have been built around it. Rise on Apache is now the Carmen. And at least my Chase Bank branch is still there where I left it. Sal's Pizza. Yeah, Memory serves. Sal's Pizza used to be in a very nearby location in its own standalone building. I'm drawing a blank on where it used to be. That name just sounds really familiar from when I lived in Tempe all through the 2010s. I think I lived in Tempe from, I want to say 2005 until 2015. And just shy of a decade. A little bit more of a decade if you count the time that I was kind of existing on my friend Bill's floor. Taco Bell's still in the same place. That's a good thing. I don't think that's a 24-hour Taco Bell, but I think they're open until the wee hours of the morning. This is a very pedestrian-heavy area until definitely 3 a.m. A lot of bars around here, and when they all let go at 2 a.m., there's just people walking all over the streets around here. I don't know, love-hate thing with this area. I mean, part of me misses living here, and then part of me is glad to be away from all the traffic and congestion down here, and the gridlock that happens down here. And these new dorm buildings, those were built right around the time I moved out of Tempe. I don't know, they look like prison buildings to me. Just how they're so gray and stale. It really reminds me of a prison. And of course those buildings aren't accessible at all without, the right kind of security to get into them. So Priscilla's apartment that she had that she lost, that resulted in her just moving into my place without asking, it was very close to here. It was over on Stanley Place, just off of Lemon and Terrace, in a really dumpy complex. I can't help but imagine somebody's probably bought that property up by now and is building luxury high-rises in the location. I would love to walk up to Paseo del Sabre if the weather wasn't so god-awful outside right now. But it does look like that dust storm is still happening. Oh, we finally got some people getting on this train, I think. Yay, more passengers. At this point, I'm using this train as shelter from the dust storm more than transportation. I'm actually thinking about. I kind of want to ride this whole line just to see where just to see where it goes. Give you all some video of the Tempe streetcar since I got really nothing better to do today, and I'm mostly just trying to not be at home and avoid Priscilla, so she can concentrate, if she chooses to, concentrate on packing their shit. But yeah, the apartment that she had before she without asking, just moved into my place, was very close to here. And she got it, with the intention of going to ASU, and she did go to ASU, and she graduated ASU. But the funny thing is, I think by the time she was actually attending classes here at ASU, that was around the time she lost her apartment. When she had that apartment, she was actually attending classes at Scottsdale Community College, which is like Pima and Chaparral, on the reservation side of Pima. people sitting at the station, but apparently they're not getting on the train. Apparently they're just chilling at the platform. Of course, it could be she's waiting for the train going in the opposite direction. So this is really close to where my old apartment was. My old apartment was on Broadway, very close to Mill, kind of between Mill and College. So this would be, if I was going to my old apartment, this would be a place where it would make sense for me to get off and walk down College. I'd be looking at a little over a half-mile walk from here to my old apartment. And there used to be one of the shuttle buses that I would regularly take, one of the Orbit buses that would come up College. I would actually catch it there at Broadway and College. It would come up College, it would make the left, like where the train just stopped, and it would make the right on that street on the other side of the parking lot there. It's amazing, as densely built as this area is, that they still have that much just straight flat surface parking for Gamage Auditorium. Love Gamage Auditorium though. That's a Frank Lloyd Wright design and a beautiful piece of architecture. And quite the place inside. I've seen the Tempe Symphony Orchestra there, and I also went with my mother to see, took my mother to see, oh my god, I'm trying to forget what off-Broadway play we went to see. Wicked. We went there to see a really great presentation of Wicked. Apparently the Lion King is showing there now. That's pretty cool. I imagine this streetcar is going to get a whole lot more use, you know, once fall semester starts at ASU, to judge ridership on a late July afternoon is admittedly not fair. And there's the Orbit bus I was just describing, the one that would go down College. That would turn left at Apache and then turn right on whatever the hell that street is that goes behind Gamage, and would go around and walk down Gamage. And that's it right there. Turn right and go north. Turn right, go north on Mill. I think it took Mill to 5th, and then it would take 5th down to the Transit Center. Actually, I can't remember if it took 5th or if it took University. Been a while. Been a while since I lived in Tempe and used transit. I think I got my CRX running maybe about a year and a half after I got my apartment in Tempe. And once I got my CRX, I didn't use the transit a whole lot. Seems so wild seeing that area there vacant. Although for a long time it was just an open parking lot and the remnants of the strip mall that had been turned into been kind of swallowed up by ASU. So hopefully they're putting some more usable buildings in there that make better use of the space.
Doors will open on the left.
Wow, the train's been making announcements and I haven't even been able to hear them over that loud ass blower. And there went the Orbit bus. So apparently the Orbit bus gets through here faster than the streetcar does. You know, one thing I've definitely noticed about the streetcar, it does not get you through this area nearly as fast as an electric scooter would. In fact, if there's two words I would use to describe this streetcar, it would be painfully slow. towards University. Weston, I'm pretty sure that's a hotel. I'm not really sure what the hell they're building in this tower here. They're expanding your horizons. If memory serves, it's supposed to be residential for older students. In other words, students that are in their 30s or 40s and older. And there's another orbit bus, the Venus back. And it looks like it turns right and goes down college, or not college, I'm sorry, it goes down University. For some reason I was thinking it went down 5th. I guess it probably goes down University to college, takes college to the transit center, which is at college and 5th, and takes 5th back to Mill. I think that's how it works. Jack in the Box still there. Yeah, don't ever park at that Jack in the Box if you're going to any place other than Jack in the Box, because they've got probably the most aggressive towing enforcement in the entire city of Phoenix, the entire Phoenix City area. Club and Zuma Grill is still there. That's pretty cool. Looks like the dust storm has settled down a little bit outside. It's kind of trippy how you can see the information sign in the reflection in the window. I'm not sure what that place is. That used to be a restaurant called, it's called Illegal Pete's now, but it used to be there's a station platform here. Well, at least this platform takes you directly to the sidewalk. Bye. Movies are forever. We'll see you in 22. Apparently nothing showing at the Valley Art right now, which is, for those who don't know, the original Harkins Theater. It was owned and operated as an independent single-screen theater by Dan Harkin's parents, who is now, of course, the super wealthy owner of Harkins Theaters. Mesquite, Fresh Street. That there, what was it, Mesquite? That little taco spot right next to the Valley Art? That is actually owned by the same people that own Speedy Street Tacos that I love so much over on 40th Street, and I think I'm going to get off at the next stop. That I love going to there at 40th Street in Washington. In fact, they're getting ready to rebrand Speedy Street Tacos also as Mesquite Mexican or something like that, and they're working on building a new building. The new building looks like it's going to be really nice, but I don't know, there's just something to me, there's a certain charm about the old building they're in. It was a hot dog stand years ago. I don't know, there's just something about how it is now that when it's nicer isn't going to be as appealing to me. So wow, so many bird scooters lined up. And after we cross the light rail tracks, I think I'm going to get off at this platform. Part of me kind of wants to ride it out on Rio Salado, but not feeling it. Streetcar is free for the first year. I didn't know that. Not like it matters, I got a bus pass. So, kind of weird how they did this platform as kind of a dead end thing. Also kind of weird how they got the platform in the one traffic lane, and then they've got the bike lane on the other side of it. So the streetcar is going to turn right up on Rio Salado, and all those cars stuck behind the train. Stuck behind slow-moving train. Yeah, stuff like this makes it understandable why that one guy with Utah plates drove on the light rail track that one time when I was vlogging down in downtown Phoenix. Valley Metro, 3rd Street and Mill. So bizarre how they did that bike lane there. You know, and the funny thing is, originally, you notice this curb here is super, super wide. When this curb was built, this curb was actually the bike lane. It was an actual literal bicycle gutter. This curb was a bike lane. On the outside of the curb was